Hey guys, and welcome to On the Table, your TV show about your tabletop gaming hobby. Brought to you by Beasts of War. For all you new viewers, remember you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, or subscribe to us on YouTube. Not only that, but we also have our live Turn 8 show every other Thursday taking place over on BeastsOfWar.com, where you can hear and get involved in the latest chat about what's been happening in tabletop gaming and send your questions to us live. Now that I've got that all over with, let's get down to business and check out what's been happening in the tabletop gaming world. Halloween is fast approaching, and the miniature manufacturers have been making their websites all spooky just for the season. However, the guys at SCIBOR'S Monstrous Miniatures have gone one step further and launched a new miniature in fancy dress. You might say this orc has taken his costume inspiration from a galaxy far, far away. Thank goodness it was a droid he fancied dressing up as. There certainly would be one outfit I wouldn't want to see an orc in anytime soon. Get ready to check out this fantastic model of Commander IVANKA Kurganova. Now there's a name to conjure with. We've covered Raging Heroes a few times here on the Table, and guess what? We're about to do it again. This model has got to be perfect for your favourite gothic sci-fi wargame, and comes with a choice of weapon options as well as a set of optional heads. One remarkably pretty, the other wearing a gas mask. Probably so she can fit into one of those more obscure regiments we gamers like to think up. Next up we have a ferocious looking miniature from the Banelords range. This is named Kyriok Crow, the Sea Devil. Banelord and Bane Legions are a superb range of massive monsters and characterful individuals that you can slot into your favourite army as a stunning centerpiece. The entire range is rapidly expanding and probably has something to please most tastes. They even have some very specific sculpts that might please some of you very discerning types who are always in search of that very, very specific model. For all you Facebookers out there, you might like to know there's now a Dungeons & Dragons game that you can play online. Heroes of Neverwinter is a simple point-and-click affair, but hey, it's D&D, so what's not to love? Let's just hope they add some multiplayer options soon, and then we can all go dungeoneering together and splatter a few goblins. Pathfinder have just launched the new Blue Box starter set for their world-renowned role-playing game. If you fancy trying out Pathfinder, then getting everything you need to start in one box is a great way to do it. Dragons! Every gamer loves dragons. Okay, maybe not every gamer loves dragons, but most of us do appreciate a massive model, especially one that has a superb paint scheme like this version of KANG the Implacable, the latest centerpiece model from Cool Mini or Not. And if you're a fan of cool sculpts, then Legacy Miniatures have just released the impressive Mid-Norse Cyclops, another mighty monster from the Confrontation range. While Legacy Miniatures don't yet have a website, they are releasing their range through the Cool Mini or Not store, so if you're looking for the relaunched resin sculpts for Confrontation, then that's where you go to find them. So keep your eye out for some coverage of the Confrontation miniatures on Beasts of War soon, because we can't wait to get a look at what the guys at Legacy have done with those new resin versions. And while we're on the topic of good sculpts, it's very difficult to get away from two of the greatest names in miniature sculpting. In fact, probably in the world. While Alan and Michael Perry are best known for the work they do for Games Workshop, they also have a successful miniatures company of their own that creates a range of historical periods from medieval right up to the Napoleonic Wars. Perry Miniatures create their masterpieces exclusively in 28mm scale. Now, depending where you come from, you might call that proper 28mm, or true scale, or in some places it's even called God scale. So anyway, they'll be a bit smaller than the sculpts that they do for Games Workshop, and the proportions will look more realistic. However, these miniatures can easily fit with any other 28mm historical range, or indeed, you could probably very easily slot these into any good fantasy game. Next up we have the latest historical range from Wargames Foundry, Renaissance Italians. The Renaissance was a time of scientific advancement, and most importantly, guns put paid to the use of most heavy armour. Of course, for the medieval sculptor, it's also a chance to flex their muscles and sculpt a lot of robes and tunics, rather than big medieval plates. So if you're looking for some models to use as bandits or mercenaries, I bet you never thought of checking out the Renaissance period for them. If you're into your Second World War gaming, then this month saw the release of HELLFIRE and Back for Flames of War. This new rulebook is focused on the early war in North Africa, so you can expect some dusty tank maneuvers as well as sweeping desert battles in the Northern Sahara. And HELLFIRE and Back isn't the only new book due out. There will be Burning Empires, where players can experience the battle for the Mediterranean, and 2 books dealing with the war on the Eastern Front, Grey Wolf for the German forces and Red Bear for the Soviets. And if you're not familiar with Flames of War, then check out some of the latest 15mm models released for the game. This game brings to life epic battles played out with the forces of the Allies facing off against the might of the Axis. Which side will you choose? The launch of Games Workshop's DREADFLEET game has been, well, pretty contentious, and gaming blogs have been on fire, discussing the pros and cons of the game. But what did we think of it? Well, that would be telling. However, you can check out our review of the game over on Beasts of War or by following this QR code. But if you're one of the tens of thousands of people that have went out and bought DREADFLEET, then like me, you're probably wondering, how do you keep those models safe? Those sails are kind of flimsy. Anyway, Battle Foam have jumped to our rescue and created some custom cut foam trays that actually fit inside the DREADFLEET box. And for any of you guys that have maybe shied away from ordering Battle Foam stuff in the past due to the worries of long delays in it being shipped in from the US, you'll be pleased to know that Battle Foam now have a UK manufacturing plant which is delivering a better value service to the whole of the UK and the whole of Europe. Privateer Press's game HORDES concerns itself not with big mechanical machines, but with mighty monsters. Controlling these beasts are the Warlocks, and here are the latest Warlocks to be announced for release with the HORDES Domination Rulebook, which is due out soon. Small World is one of the most popular fantasy board games around, a game where you gather a cast of the usual suspects, dwarves, elves, wizards, ogres, trolls and all that stuff, to conquer the world and have a bit of a laugh while you're at it. However, if you're an existing player, you'll soon be able to connect your Small World game board to the underground version of the game, Small World Underground, with this mini expansion, Small World Tunnels. Small World Tunnels connects both game boards and allows you to make a huge mega game board for a massive gaming experience. Perfect for whiling away those fast approaching winter nights. So if you're looking for a cool board game to use up all those pretzels, then Small World has a light-hearted style and an easy learning curve that belies its depth and is well worth a look. If you want to try and bring your painting skills right up to scratch, then maybe Beasts of War can help. Our artist in residence, Rama, is on hand to give you some insider tips on ways to improve your technique and colour selection. You can catch his latest 3 Colours Up series on the Beasts of War website, or alternatively, just zap this QR code and join him and his Gallic tones as he paints a dreadnought for Warhammer 40,000. And if Warhammer isn't your thing, then we also have some fantastic PDF painting guides for heavy gear. These are exclusive to Beasts of War, so if you're gearing up for the Golden Gear painting competition, then you need to get your entry in soon. And these guides could be just the way to jumpstart you to victory. Conversion bits are always a good thing, and everybody wants models that are cool and personalized just to them. So check out some of the new gas mask heads from Cromlech and this awesome Tesla blaster from Max Mini. These can be attached to any heroic scale model to make them a bit more your own and show your opponent just how dedicated you are to your victory. As we all know, winning is good, but winning with style is better. And if you love building conversions, then you should know that we're holding a KITBASH competition over at Beasts of War, where you could win a fantastic trophy designed by Battlefoam and the chance to have your model serve as the inspiration for a brand new WARPATH vehicle from MANTIC Games. Entry details are on the website, but check out our very first entry and see if that doesn't whet your appetite or inspire you to enter. And while I'm on the topic of MANTIC Games and WARPATH, they have a new army deal available for pre-order that contains copies of their plastic Marauders, plus the brand new Marauder Raptor attack trike, and Forge Father Stormrage veterans with the superb new artillery model. If you're around Nottingham on the 12th of November, you can drop into MANTIC HQ where they'll be running their WARPATH launch party, where all the new models will be on display and you get to meet Alessio Cavatore, the creator of WARPATH, and a host of other names from the gaming industry. MANTIC tell us that they'll have more WARPATH news on the day, so if you want to be the first to find out what's coming up for this new sci-fi war game, then that's the place to be. If you're already a player of Dark Age Apocalypse, then you're probably well aware of the forces of St. Luke. He's one of the most mysterious figures in the game, but there's no denying the power of his fanatical crusaders or the loyalty of his faithful. In the post-apocalyptic future, it probably helps his cause that he has access to some of the most powerful weaponry available, but it could just be his incredible ambition that drives him to victory. Either way, if you're a player of the Forsaken faction, then Luke and his unique forces will be available in November. So if you've been on the receiving end of a serious beatdown, it might be time to get yourself a different saint. Finally, we have news of the starter sets for Carnivale, and these are the first images of the box art for the Carnivale factions. Carnivale is a brand new skirmish game based in 18th century Italy. Masked opponents battle against sinister monsters and scientific nightmares in the dark alleys and fetid canals of Venice, where the aftermath of such encounters can be easily hidden beneath those dark waters. The game should be available very soon, so stay tuned to Beasts of War for the announcement and check out our live show Turn 8 for more images of upcoming miniatures and perhaps even the chance to be the first to get your hands on this exciting new game. And from nightmare horror to cutesy horror, AMMON Miniatures has created Teddy Fear and RAMBIT. Teddy Fear seems to be some sort of demonic soft toy that got into the garden shed, while RAMBIT is quite obviously a dangerous rabbit out for first blood. Well, that wraps it up for another 2 weeks. We'll be back on your screens again soon with more of what's new, cool and hot in the world of tabletop gaming. But until then, you can join us over on the Beasts of War website where you can learn more about your hobby and tell us what you would like to see in future shows. So until next time guys, good gaming. You've been watching On the Table.